Hey everybody, how's it going? This is a little vlog that I'm making that I'm going to try to make for about like 20 minutes long or so that I'm going to use to test the internet at my work to see what the upload speed is like. Anyways, this is my, this was my radio for my silver 2001 Ford Ranger. This is the one that was in it. As you can see by the broken plastic, I got a little angry with it because I have a CD in there that is stuck. Now, the entire time I've been driving this truck, which hasn't been very long, I've had trouble getting CDs in and out, and I thought it was just a normal thing, maybe with this kind of radio from Ford, because my white truck has the same problem where the CDs don't like to come out. Well, the CD that I got stuck in here is a George Strait CD, not Lee Greenwood, God Bless the USA. So, part of the problem has been this being stuck in here, I think is not allowing the CD to come out. Now, why it would randomly work sometimes and not others, I don't know. Perhaps this was at some point stuck in the top and then it got pushed in, and I don't know, that doesn't even make sense. But now that I've broken the front of it anyways, which I really didn't think about ahead of time, because one of these radios on eBay refurbished is like $260 with a Bluetooth button in there. That's what I'm going to put in the white truck, and then I was going to put the one from the white truck into the silver truck. That way I have the same radio in both. Let's see what it takes to get this out. Okay, so getting this out was reasonably easy, and I don't think that's ever going to work again. This one, however, is going to be the challenge, and I think all I broke on this, based on the sound of the rattling glass, is the actual screen. And, oh, maybe that button, too. Yeah, I don't see any cracks in the circuit board or anything, so I could, in theory, put this back together and try to get it out that way. I think I might do that for the sake of practice doing it, as well as to keep any damage to the CD to a minimum if it is still usable, which, based on what I can see, I think it would be. I don't see why not. Either way, it's the end of the road for this unit. But I will say, based on how easy it is to disassemble, I can see why there would be people taking these and modifying them, because it looks like it would be rather easy. So I'm going to try plugging this back in and getting that CD out. Okay, so I got my CD out that was stuck in there. I plugged it in and I fiddled with it a little bit, and I got it to spit it out, and then I tried sticking it back in and popping it back out, and it barely worked, but it worked, and I think that might have something to do with the control panel being all busted up. So I'm actually going to, like, this part I'll throw out because that's the covers to it, but I'll put it in a plastic bag or something, save it in a box in case the other radio craps out. That might be good. That might be a good parts unit. So I got my CD back. I'm happy. This one's a loss. It's got two cracks in it, some pretty big gouges. Oh, more cracks there. So yeah, at least I got one thing done today. Because the other thing I've been trying to do is get these wheels sorted out. This is what was on this truck from the factory, these wheels. And this one's bent. And the spare tire that I also had in the front is bent. So I got to replace those, and it's hard to find wheels from a Ranger to put on. So I got 2 Jeep wheels, and in the front they clear, but they're so close to some threads for something, I think the tie rod end, that I think the tire's sidewall would rub up against them in tight turns, so that's no good. I put this one on the back here to test it out, and I can hear the that's the brake drum rattling. So I don't know if I just don't have it on tight enough, or if the offset is a little too different to where this isn't going to work. Because on the other side, where I've still got one wheel left on, you can see the difference. And, oh, you know what? I hear it a little bit here too. So that other side might be alright, because I haven't loosened this up at all. I'm glad I got away from it for a little bit to think about it. That's why I was doing the radio, because I was doing this earlier. Getting worked up. And I said, you know what, I need a break. So I took a break, did the radio. Oh, this has got a kink in it too. Still holding air though, so I'm not worried. Alright, I gotta confess. I got into an accident. 2 weeks after getting it on the road and legal, I got into an accident. I'll show the damage more some other time. But it's some of it there after it's been attempted to be fixed. Actually, I'll show you underneath. That's really where it is. I don't want to walk around with my camera too much because I don't want my grandmother to ask what I'm doing. But it looks too dark. As you can see, the transmission crossmember has some damage to it. It's actually pulling the engine and transmission back a little bit, and because of that and the bumper, it busted a corner of the radiator. So back to square one and then some, in a way, but I've been putting a price on everything I do, and it had earned back, I think, like, I don't know, I've got it written down, but it earned back like either $50 or $70. So I'll just have to add up what I've spent on parts, which was $50 for the wheels, $75 for the radiator, I think $35 for the cross member that I'm not even sure if it's the right one. Add all those up, plus what whatever the neighbor charges me, if him and I work on it, or if just he works on it. I don't know what's going to happen yet. But yeah, it was doing good. Then I did that. So, hooray, always something. Always something. Alright, so it's still Saturday. Continuing my vlog here. Uh-oh, battery's about to die. Yep, it's about to die. Alright, that's better. Let's see how long this one lasts. One of these batteries, I think that battery might be bad. That might be the older one. Anyways. Yeah, so I've decided that I'm gonna take a gamble on the Jeep wheels on the back of the truck, because that rattling that I was hearing, that was only from the wheels, the lug nuts being as tight as I could get them with that stupid tire iron that I have. So if they're put on with an impact and then properly torqued, it'll probably be okay. So I grabbed all the tires and wheels, brought them to Walmart. I explained to the guy, it must have been 4 fucking times, what I wanted done, because he couldn't remember, keep track of shit. Excuse me. And finally he got the gist of it, and luckily they did it right and balanced them all, so that's good. But that was about an hour wait and about $100. I need to see if I can get a Harley Davidson sticker or two for the stupid truck, because it seems like everything $100, $100, $100. That's what the HD stands for, is $100. So that's all good, done and well. While I waited, I went and visited some of my friends who worked there. Chris works there. Him and I, we went to the comic store during his lunch. I didn't get anything there. I didn't care. And then we just hung out in his car until it was time for him to go back in. And by the time we went back in, they were ready. So that's good. That's a relief. That's going to be one thing that's partly done tomorrow. Or I'll put it all back together tonight and then text the neighbor, see if I can bring it over there. If so, great. If not, well, I'll just dump it over at his house at some point and not have to worry about the tires leaking out, because that was the problem. They would hold air, but they wouldn't hold air for long, and in fact, when I drove it from where I had it parked at first to where I took all the wheels off, the front driver's side tire decided to let out a lot of the air, so there was no way I was going to be able to drive it over there and let it sit, because then he would have to mess around with it, and his driveway is kind of like mine where it's soupy. So that's all good, well done and taken care of. I've got the CD and the CD player in this truck, and it's playing just fine, so luckily that didn't get ruined. Because I just bought the CD a couple days before. That would really suck. Have to buy it again. This truck, the check engine light's on, and it's old enough now that it doesn't need to pass emissions to pass a state inspection, which is nice on one hand, but on the other, you know, I do want to keep my truck in good running order. I figured it's just because it's got old gas in it. It had at least 15 gallons of gas in it that was in it back. I looked at my Gas Buddy app, and it was actually the morning of the accident that I stopped on my way to work and got gas. Oop. So, I don't want to stay here too long. So with that, that means all that gas has been in there since April 10th. I get Cumberland Farms gas. It's not the greatest. It's far from the greatest. In fact, it's probably some of the shittiest at a franchise that you can buy in the area. So I figure the light's on because of bad gas. I poured a can of Seafoam in to the tank once it got super low, and I ran it, revved it up and down, just sitting there in the parking lot, and then I let it sit there for about, I don't know, 10-15 minutes while I went in back into the store to use the bathroom. Come back out, hop in, and I just now filled it up with 93 octane fuel from Shell. I know they say, oh, it doesn't make a difference, doesn't make a difference. Well, I'm gonna try it. You know, sometimes with it burning a little hotter, it's gonna break up any deposits that are in the fuel injection system. So, I'm giving that a try. I was supposed to maybe meet up with somebody and get milkshakes, but it ain't gonna happen. It's just about 6 o'clock now, and I kind of just want to go home, get this all put back together, text a neighbor and see what's up with him. And this trailer in front of me has no lights on it. I assume they're making a left. That's one thing I don't get. People that will drive without any lights on their trailer, like, come on. I think my friend, he doesn't even hook them up because he knows they don't work most of the time. Oh, they didn't even have a turn signal on. Lovely. I noticed on this, since I got it back, that if I'm kind of hard on the accelerator when I'm taking off from idle or from being at a stop, it'll stumble, and I was actually able to replicate that enough to see that it's a consistent thing, and my battery light even came on a couple times. So it's kind of hard to mess around with anything. Not being able to use a code reader. I don't know where mine is, and I'm not going to buy another one. But whatever the issue is, it's significant enough that when I changed out the battery, the check engine light still stayed on, so we'll see. It'll be figured out in good time, I suppose. I'm gonna shut this off for now, and see you in the next clip. Alright, not sure how well this is gonna show up. Basically, this is the damage to the front. License plate broke off. This piece of plastic broke off. That actually flew in, landed in the bed. I couldn't believe it. This was broken when I got the truck. The bumper's a little pushed up and back. This plastic valance down here's all scuffed and scarred up. This is a little popped out. This fender here, completely out of alignment. Huge gap down there. I thought that maybe it was because the there's really nothing bolting the bottom of the fender to the body down there. And there's that release. Come on, I just opened you earlier. There we go. Good enough. It actually bent the inner fender in a little bit and tore the bolts through the holes. I'm going to take a fender off the black truck and put it on. Because the engine and transmission are actually pulled back a little bit because the transmission mounts, the transmission cross member is bent from hitting the rocks. It's pulled everything back a little bit and it broke this corner on the radiator. And yeah, so there's that. This over here, I didn't think about this earlier, but I had the truck off, and I was spinning the wheel around to see if these wheels that I ended up putting on back here, these are from like a Cherokee or a Wrangler or something. I was trying them out in the front, and I wanted to see what the clearance would be when I was putting the wheel all the way to the left or to the right. And I noticed, to me, it looked like it was different on both sides, what my clearance was. And on the passenger side, it looked like it wasn't going to give enough room for the little bit of the tire that bulges out over the edge of the wheel. So I figured I'll play it safe. I'll take these wheels off the back that had those 235s on them. Have those 235s put onto the Jeep wheels, throw those in the back, put these in the front. Now, this one's got a small dent in it right here. I think, oh no, here it is. I noticed that dent earlier. And I thought, oh, okay, well, that kind of sucks. But now that I'm feeling around, it feels flatter down here than it does up here. So maybe this wheel was damaged too. This wheel, I definitely really do think was damaged. And, because it's like, it just feels inconsistent. It's flat in some spots and really bent in on others. And I don't know what they pumped these tires up to, but this one seems to have less air in it. Now before, when these were on the back, they were holding air just fine. So I don't know if maybe this tire is damaged, because these are 225s. I had these on the front, just like I do now. On the wheels that got bent. The one that was on the passenger side got bent pretty good, and I was able to hammer it straight enough so that the tire would hold air again, and I was able to reset the bead using starter fluid and a lighter, which is dangerous, but it worked. Oh yeah, that's from reaming on the steering wheel. It just, like my other Ranger does that too, it belches out fluid from the cap. But anyways, yeah, so I don't know if the tire's really damaged. To me it looks it, but the neighbor, when he saw it, he said, oh, you can still use that. But now I'm looking at like this wheel here, it's straight. And this wheel here is kicked out about an inch or so. So I know I'm going to have to take it in for an alignment. What I'm not sure is get under here, is if Boy, it's really hard to see in this viewfinder. What you can see is if this is actually straight. We put it up partway on his left. He took a pry bar and tried seeing if the ball joints were loose or anything, and they weren't. They were fine. And that was the case on both sides. But this A-arm here, oh jeez, this is hard with a headlamp. Stuff that there. This A-arm here, that thing right there that my finger is on, that's actually bent down about, an inch or so. I don't know if it's actually bent down or if it's the front of this A-arm is just kind of stoved in, and that's making it look like it's down. I'm not sure, but that is stoved in. Well, let's see. This, since I'm looking at it, this may have another winter left after this one, because she's not in the best of shape. Shouldn't have bought it. But moving on. Oh yeah, the dust shield for the brakes here. This is bent in. I should have hammered on that when I had the wheel off, but I forgot about it. Although I'm sure this A-arm, I bet, is going to have to be replaced. It would just be my luck. And I feel like at least one ball joint. But, ouch. Yeah, I was on the road for about 2 weeks. And I think I had put the price on everything I had done with it at like $70. I put about 2,000 miles on it. So that's like 20 right there, plus, you know, junk like this, getting rid of it, I put a price on that too. I know there's more tires on this property. I gotta find them all to get rid of them. Yeah, between that and a load of scrap and some loads of debris from a shed that's over there that I cleaned out. Yeah, I think it was at about $70 when this accident happened, and just to have all 4 tires swapped around on the wheels was $94. Plus, to buy these 2 wheels, I'm not even counting the gas I used, to buy these 2 wheels it was $50. And then I think the radiator was $75. The transmission cross member over there, that was $35, and I can't return that now, so hopefully that fits. And I texted the neighbor a little while ago. He said to bring it by sometime this week, and I told him let me know so I can plan accordingly, because I've got a gym membership and stuff now, and it's kind of hard to justify going back out the same direction you came from when you just got home from work and all that. So hopefully he keeps in touch with me and we can just get this done, and I can at least have it sort of on the road by Friday. If I can have it sort of on the road by Friday, then try to take it to Midas for an alignment on Saturday and be back up and running and in style. Not much of a style, but in style. Then I can work on getting the car cleaned up, Get that sold. Oh shit, this gap's off here too. There is a possibility that the frame is tweaked. I mean, the gap here and here, that doesn't look too bad. But over here, and maybe it's, no, even if that was straighter, it still wouldn't look right. And that could be because of the fender, but I really don't think so. I think the damage is a little worse than the eye first sees it. Oh yeah, this got all stoved in too. I'm gonna try to pound that out a little bit flatter, but this was stoved right in, and it actually folded up on. No, that's not it. Ah, here it is. Yeah, it folded up on this rib here. Because what happened? I'm sure you're all dying to know. I was on my way home a couple Mondays ago. Gross. I was on my way home a couple Mondays ago from a friend's house, actually Chris's house, and I decided to go do a little joyriding. So I did a little joyriding, and I'm on my way back. And on my way back, the lovely wildlife came into the road. It was starting to rain, so the road was slick. The ABS in this truck doesn't work properly. A deer ran out in front of me. It was going about 35. Kind of panicked because it was really close. Stomped on the brakes, locked them up, went into a skid, went off the road, landed on a rock wall, and a tree was holding me up because it was the rock wall, and then it just went downhill from there into the woods. So I tried not calling the police. I called my friend that lives up the street with a tow truck to see if he could help me out somehow, because I was sure that, you know, this was some kind of accident he had seen, and I didn't realize that he'd only been a tow truck driver for about a month, so this was beyond his capability, and somebody called the cops on me anyway, so 2 towns and a county sheriff showed up. Isn't that nice? I'm not hurt, just my pride. I was sore the couple days after, but I never went to the hospital because I'm not a pussy. So that's the story on that. Really not happy about it, but at least it was this one and not that one. That one I would be really upset about. This one, I mean, I'm pissed only because it owes me so much money, but other than that, you know, at least it's fixable, and or at least it appears to be fixable, and maybe I can get some more use out of it once it's back in commission. You know what, I think I'm going to leave it here for the night. I don't really feel like moving it. Well, I feel like moving it, but not taking all this shit out just so I can sit down. I do, however, have to put the jack away, the jack stands. This needs to go back in. I got to take care of this cardboard. The next project after this, well, actually, no, if it wasn't going to rain tomorrow, I'll go park this tomorrow where it was. Excuse me. And then I would bring my black truck down here so that I have a flat place to put it up on jack stands and work on taking parts off of that. I want to take the doors off. I want to see if I can get both airbags out. I'll probably won't be able to get out the steering wheel, but that's alright if that's the case. The radio, the speakers, the back window, because that's a slider. Try to drain the fuel tank. Remove the bed. At least the passenger side fender. If that's not too difficult, which so far it was going good until I got to one particular bolt that's been a pain in the ass. Get that off for this truck. Take the driver's side fender off, the hood, maybe the wiper arms, if that's not too difficult. I've never taken those off before. Antennas. What's a mirror, taillights, all four wheels, the entire exhaust system, if I can get it out in decent pieces. Maybe the front bumper. I took the lights out already. I broke one of them in the process. I was going to try and sell them, but I don't know. I really don't care. To me, they were nothing. They were bright. They had decent distance coverage, but they weren't, like, to me, they were just fugly. So, I'm not really too heartbroken about breaking one. And who knows, I may find the piece that I lost and then be able to fix it, but yeah, so there's definitely some stuff I want to scab off of that before I call the junkyard and see if they'll come pick it up. They probably are going to say, oh, it's going to be complete. Well, I'll give you $50 just to take the fucking thing, you know? I just want to get rid of it. It's junk. Oh, I'll take the radiator out. So some stuff along the belt line there. Ooh, this is bent. Battery. Rear bumper's rusty, so I'm going to leave it. And yeah, enough rambling about all this. Oh, yeah, I got to take in the black truck, this bezel here. In the black truck, it was actually, you know what? It looks like it was done to this one too a little bit on the bottom. Very interesting. This bezel, this little edge was cut out in that one. And so basically, for me, it's junk. But what I want to do is this plug here, I want to cut this plug out of that one. I don't know how you would remove this, because I've tried to on the white truck and I couldn't figure it out. But this plug here is full of, like this one here is clean, but this one here is full of rust and corrosion. So I want to take my Sawzall, I just want to cut it out of the other bezel, and then cut this one out of this bezel. I'll cut the wires, strip them back a little bit, and then do some of those twist-on connector things and put that other one in there, drill some holes, and use some, what do you call them, zip ties to sew it in there, if you will. Because, you know, I don't really care, but I think using that one there has popped the fuse a couple times. And I'd like to plug my strobe light into one, or probably that one, and get an extension cord to run it outside, put it on the roof. I also am planning on because I've got this wooden flatbed here that's all custom. Well, I'm looking at it. I'm not sure how I'd do it, but I'll figure it out. I want to put Christmas lights on this year. And this is the perfect thing to do it on because it's already redneck and looks like hell. So, you know, what's putting on 2 or 3 strands of colored Christmas lights? So, anyways, I've rambled on long enough. This video's going on long enough. Although if I can think of anything else, I'll clip it in. Seriously doubt it, though. Hopefully, this uploads reasonably quick. Part of making this long was on purpose, so that I can test the upload speeds of the internet at my work. So, you'll be seeing this video, hopefully the week of October 27th, which is starting tomorrow. Anyways, that said, thank you very much for watching. Feel free to leave comments if you have them, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.